we want to talk about some basic issues related to fire safety. It's incredibly important in facilities like hospitals and extended care facilities that fire safety be taken seriously, and all those who work there and who are a resident there understand the following procedures, especially for those employed there. And so we just want to go over some brief fire safety important information so that you know that, and these are the things to be aware of when either beginning a new job at a particular facility, hospital, extended care facility, things like this. So we'll begin with the first one here, and that is if you are working at one of these facilities, you need to be aware of and learn immediately where all the oxygen cutoff valves are, the oxygen shutoff valves, and also where the fire alarms are located. This would be one of the first things, because of the fact that a hospital and these extended care facilities are often places where there are flammable materials in ready supply, especially like oxygen under pressure. You need to know where the shutoff valves are and then where the fire alarms are, both to stop the supply and flow of oxygen to the fire and to also alert others that there is a fire so that they can leave. Along with that, you need to know where all the fire extinguishers are and the policies for fire safety and how to get out of an area should there be a fire for that particular facility. So the first four things to remember: where are the oxygen shutoff valves? Where are the fire alarms? How do they work? Where are the fire extinguishers? And what is this particular facility's policy regarding fire safety? So familiarize yourself with all of those things, where they are, how they work. And then next, it's important to conduct regular fire drills, not only for the employees there, but also where appropriate and able, the residents, but certainly for the employees, conducting some form of fire drill so that they're used to the fact that if there were a fire, they would know where to go and what to do. Along with that, you want to educate not only your co-workers, but also the residents where appropriate, of what to do in case of a fire, and fire prevention matters. So here's how not to misuse the oxygen or create a situation in which bottled oxygen and other flammable materials might be ignited. So precautionary education, as well as education on what to do and where to go should there be a fire. So along with knowing all of these things for yourself, regular drills and education, and then next you need to make sure the facility regularly services their fire extinguishers. It's one thing to have fire extinguishers, but you need to check them periodically. They'll have a tag on them or some sort of indication on or near them saying this is when they were last serviced, when they need to be serviced again, and keeping those up to date to make sure that should the need arise, you would have a fire extinguisher not only ready at hand, but also functioning and fully charged in order to deal with the fire emergency. So regular service of the fire extinguishers. And then finally, whatever facility you happen to be at, know what their particular code is to indicate a fire. Don't assume because you go from one facility to another that it's going to be the same code. You need to learn what that particular facility's code is so that you're primed and ready to go should you hear the code to know that there is a fire. So once again, just briefly in review, some of the most important fire safety information you need to know is location and use of the oxygen shutoff valves, the fire alarms, the fire extinguishers, and the policies of that facility related to fires. Next, regular drills and education not only to prevent fires, but what to do in case of a fire. Third, service the fire extinguishers regularly and make sure they are all still in current service, in current use, have them been checked up when they're supposed to be checked up. And then finally, know that particular facility's code for a fire so that you're not caught unawares. You might be thinking, well, you know, at my last facility, it was code red, and here it's 3 blasts of a particular horn. You need to know what that facility's is so you can just spring immediately into action and do what you've learned to do is appropriate in these situations. So fire safety is critical, especially at hospitals and long-term care facilities. And these are some of the most important things to keep in mind related to fire safety. If you'd like to learn more about this and related things, underneath this video you'll find a link. Click on it, it'll take you to that website with that information, and while you're there you'll also find a link to an ebook that's ready for immediate download.